Why are folks leaving DFW? Why are they packing up the U-Haul and heading out? And then, of course, why are folks heading into DFW, packing up their U-Haul and heading in? Now, this is not a spot for U-Haul, but U-Haul tracks their data, folks. They're tracking who's renting trucks, where are they going, where are they leaving, where are they headed to. And we're going to look at the numbers in and out of Dallas-Fort Worth. And we have some other data sources. We can look at some of the sub areas within DFW and just see what the movement is like. Why are people coming and going? How many? We'll get into it as we make our way through the show and talk all things residential real estate across the DFW. Dallas-Fort Worth, folks. If you got questions, we'll also take your questions about your situations. 214-310-0008. We're also getting into why and more of why back to school is such a big deal when it comes to residential real estate, especially in Dallas-Fort Worth. What's happening in the last few weeks, what's happening right now, and are we out of it, and what happens next? We're going to get into all of it as we make our way through the show. The first segment, as always, is brought to you by Patrick Glaros and his mortgage team over at ABC Bank. Working with Patrick this week on a mortgage opportunity for my wife and me. PatrickGlaros.com. Anything you've got as far as a question, a comment, a need, a rate check. How would this work? What would the payment be? Could we buy it? Could we buy another? That's who I'm talking to on questions like that, and I think you ought to be too. PatrickGlaros.com. That's Glaros. Or you can call him 972-386-1231. And if you want more numbers, his NMLS number is 308804 because he keeps it classy. He keeps it legal. Check it all out at PatrickGlaros.com. Now, look, I'm not alone in the studio, folks. I rarely am. It's probably been about 6 years since we did a show fully solo. We've got full price Courtney, the CCC, in studio with microphone. Let him have it.
Let's go.
Always yelling. We've also got not a first-time guest, not a second-time guest. Let's call it an 18th-time guest. The man, the myth, the legitimate legend. Go check the Google reviews, people. We've got Jeremy Payne, often referred to as Jerome Payne, in studio.
Howdy, folks.
How many times do you think you've been the home run agent?
I don't know, but you know what? My personality, not enough. I got to keep going.
I like it. I like it. There's a plaque. Actually, there's about 4 plaques in our office of the agent that basically takes care of the most clients in any one given month. And he hasn't won it every month. He has won it a lot of months. But you going to win it this month?
And now this.
I sure hope so. Plan to.
That was humble for him. That was modest for radio.
I'm trying.
You know, it starts to feel annoying around here. You're like Alabama in the football, like winning.
As an Aggie fan, that hurts to acknowledge. I do appreciate the
By the way,
compliment.
Probably the next most competitive person for home run agent in the office is also an Aggie.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who's not here today?
Hi, Ian.
Oh, Ian.
Ian's got some stuff to do today, but that's okay.
Sometimes
hey, folks,
we got stuff to
Everyone's so sad.
If you've got real estate questions, holler at us. 214-310-0008. All right. Jeremy, you work with sellers all day, every day. Why does back to school matter at all?
Yeah, back to school, it's tricky, man. I'll be honest. This year it's felt a little different than usual, but I think it has a lot to do with routines, rhythms, schedules. You know, people are taking their last minute vacations in end of July, early August every year.
Yep.
And I think people sometimes put a little pause on things. They've maybe been stressed out from trying to buy and sell all summer long or even in the spring. And this little season, sometimes people think it slows down and sometimes it does. I would say there's some mixed info out there, especially this year. I've seen some really unique things happening, but
For sure.
I just think people are kind of in that exhausted, back to school, too much traffic, everybody trying to reorganize schedules and wake up early. And sometimes that can cause some changes.
It always causes some changes, but you make a good point that it's certainly not the only variable. So this year we're seeing a lot of I don't even know if a lot is the right word. We're seeing a decent bit of the pent-up demand from earlier in the year where there's just been lower real estate activity. We're seeing some of that flush itself out later than it normally would. And in spite of the actual true conditions of back to school zones, back to work commitments, the hottest time of the year, it finally hit us here in North Texas. We had a nice early midsummer, but man, it showed up lately. But we are seeing houses move, maybe a little more than we often expect for the middle of August. But still, it is a time that we provide some caution to our sellers. But we're seeing our sellers do really well right now. Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Okay. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, in order to understand and navigate that nuance, what you do is you just pick up the phone and you call 214-310-0008. Or if you're more of a text first kind of person, that's great too. Pick up the phone and text 214-310-0008. Or if you're catching the podcast and it's 2 a.m. and you're not quite ready to call, you just head over online to
ToddTremontiTeam.com.
ToddTremontiTeam.com. Or if you really want, and you're like, nope, I refuse to use all of those options, you just Google my name, spell it as best you can. You'll see over 800 5-star reviews, quite a few of them with the name Jeremy Payne attached to them. So Jeremy, why all the good reviews? What is it about this job that you like and you're so dang good at?
Man, so many things.
I'll brag on why you're good. You talk about what you like.
Yeah, man. I've been here for 8 years now. And from day one, I remember thinking early on, with no background in real estate, I was like, man, this is the kind of culture where I would come to work and be okay not making any money, right? Which sounds crazy, and I'm not promising that anymore, Todd.
There's a lot of ping pong in the early days.
Yeah, just know, I remember thinking like these people really care. They really are different. The culture here is unmatched, right? And so that's a brag on you, Todd. That's a brag on the team. But we all genuinely care about each other first. We care about our clients. And it is a place where my natural giftings, I'm just hyper competitive, as you know, and where I can come to work and I can turn it up and I can hustle when I need to even harder, and I can be rewarded by extra income and serving more clients and just helping more families in what's often the biggest transaction of their lives, you know? And so it's just a place where my skill sets can thrive. I've got people pouring into me, and I'm able to make a difference for people's lives in thousands and sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars of ways, right? And I think that's just such a blessing. And I love what I do. I love getting to be out with people.
Absolutely. If I had to summarize that, I would say you have a super unique set of skills. Liam Neeson. You have a really cool combination of skills. You're unbelievably competitive, as are many people on our team. But you are often deploying that to the benefit of your client. So their win becomes your win. I say a lot on radio or in the podcast, or if I'm speaking at something, I say that the trophies of our team are these big success stories of our clients. So yes, you like the name on the plaque when you win the Agent of the Month, we call Home Run Agent. But really the big brags around here are, my client just got an extra $42,000. My clients just got out of this crazy jam. My clients just turned this horrible, awkward difficulty into this massive win. And that's what I love about team members, and of course, Jeremy specifically, is people that are both wildly competitive, but also caring for others. So it doesn't have to always be I beat you. It's we won for our client. And that's a really unique kind of person. So we love having Jeremy on the team. You know, if you are like or know anybody like Jeremy, send them our way. We will deploy their God-given gifts and abilities for the benefit of clients and friends as well. Now, give me an example lately of just where you felt like, man, I'm right where God wants me. I'm using my gifts and it's made real difference for these people. And just talk about the difference you've been able to make.
Yeah, man. First thing comes to mind is just literally this week we closed on a house, and these clients are friends of the team. A lot of us know them, and they first met with us over a year ago and just said, hey, we're thinking about moving. We're not totally sure. We just know we want to be a little closer to our church and our school and our friends. And so we started evaluating things. We got them ready to go. And then we found out there is just nothing that matches their needs. Like, they are extremely picky, which there's nothing wrong with that, but they had a very specific, thing that they were looking for, and it wasn't out there, and they needed to sell their home in order to buy. And so we had to kind of navigate a tricky market where there's, not a ton of inventory that fit their needs, and homes weren't selling super fast in their area. And for over a year, we helped them process. We looked, we evaluated, we had several come to Jesus meetings and just kept processing. And then the dream home popped up, and it's in the most coveted neighborhood in the Allen area.
Which, if you are responsible for selling someone's home in a challenging selling market, and they have now fully emotionally fallen in love with a house that, in theory, technically speaking, they can't have.
Yeah,
because they have to sell their house first. And that house is not on the market yet or under contract yet. This is like asking someone to thread the tiniest needle. Carry on.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. And that's very true. And so, of course, we tell them, be careful, try not to fall in love, but let's go see what we can do. They're in love, right? It's close to their friends. It's right by their school. It's all the things they wanted. And we go, and not only does Gibson on our team as the buyer agent gets it under contract, $25,000 below asking, with
which is
credits,
insane,
with a buy down for their interest rate, all the things. We then have to go sell their house, and we've got about less than a month to do it, right? And it's in a neighborhood where average days on market is over 60 days on market.
So you need to do it in half the normal time.
Or less. Yeah, that's like worst case scenario. Right. And so this is the first house they've liked in over a year. We get it ready to go. We had prepared, so the listing was all ready. We knew exactly what we were doing. Put it on the market. Less than 2 weeks down the road, we get them under contract, full asking price, which was not a low asking price, to be clear, and locked in, very little repairs, moved on, and they just closed this last week.
Crowd loves it. The crowd loves it.
And it was incredible. And I saw them at a pool party over the weekend, and their kids were going on and on about the new house and their rooms and telling me all the stories. And it was just so fun to get to see what is not always the case. Sometimes people move pretty quickly.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Detach yourself from it. I'll brag on you so you don't have to. But realistically speaking, would a normal agent in this market even be able to tell that client that was possible? And the answer to that is probably not. We can't say no.
Yeah.
But if you were just looking at the data, and the typical agent in our market is kind of looking at basic data, averaging it and applying, hey, this is probably what's going to happen to you. They're going to say, sorry, you can't have that house. It's going to take 60 something days to sell your house. And that's a very desirable house that hasn't been available and just popped up. Probably others are going to want it. You're going to have a contingency, all these complicated things. They're most likely either going to say, sure, and just come nowhere close, or just say that's not possible.
And the other option I literally saw a couple of weeks ago, they're going to tell them to get a bridge loan or spend what ends up being $15,000 to $20,000 to bridge the gap, and they lose $20,000. That's not a small chunk of change.
And there's ads everywhere for that stuff right now,
Yeah.
Buy before you sell, we'll buy your house. And it sounds so good. And I'm not saying they're like bad business models, but they shouldn't be needed most of the time. And the difference there is a great strategy. And you explained so much. Dedicated marketing specialist, which is what you do. A lot of people call that a listing agent, but we're going to do way more than put your house on a list. You're going to actively market, negotiate, and promote that property in a way that you could do it in half the time for even more money, and work hand in hand, not just one agent trying to do both, but with another specialist, Gibson, over on the buy side, navigating that side to where they're getting that house below market value with incredible terms, and the sellers help paying so they have a lower mortgage rate, which is incredible. So now these people sell a house in a tough market and kill it, buy a house in a market that didn't exist because there was only one property that fit their criteria, and kill it. And now they and their kids are just in a dream scenario, which is very rare. So way to go. Way to go, Jeremy. Way to go, Gibson. Way to go to this family who we won't publicly name, but it's a big, big deal. So if that's kind of the story you would like to write for your family, holler at us. 214-310-0008. We'll get you connected with the agent on our team that's the best fit for you. Don't hesitate, though, if you're like, nope, I just want those guys. I want Jeremy and I want Gibson. Then let us know. We'll get you connected. We do have areas of specialization on our team. Our agents are not broad generalists that will do residential, commercial, industrial, leasing, and sales. They do generally one or maybe two things. Jeremy is unbelievably talented at selling your awesome neighborhood and home on land property throughout DFW. Gibson is basically those same two areas on the buy side. We have some agents that work just the Fort Worth side or just the Dallas side. But look, if you're looking for a specialized, full-time, world-class, dedicated pro, not just like a friend with a license, if you're looking for a pro with a strategy that can be adapted and adjusted and customized for you and your unique situation in the unique marketplace, give us a call, 214-310-0008, or you can text 214-310-0008. You should just have that saved in your phone. Todd Tremonti team, Todd Tremonti Realtors, whatever you want. 214-310-0008 or
DutchRemindingTeam.com.
All right, Courtney, I know you had a little more data on the U-Haul stuff that we talked a little bit about earlier, like who's coming, who's going. We can kind of look at the numbers and maybe guess a little bit of why, but what are we talking about?
I mean, I was just shocked because I just hear over and over, everybody's moving to Texas from California. Yeah. Yeah. And
by the way, everyone, the people that say that always sound exactly like Courtney just sounded.
And that wasn't the case.
They sound like. Go ahead.
So do you want me to share what they came out with the top 3 states that are renting to move here?
Renting U-Hauls. Okay, real quick. Yes, I want you to share the data.
That's fair.
Kind of an important clarifier there.
But those of you that are live radio only listeners, what's up, WBAP? Don't get the benefit of the visual that you would get on the YouTube channel of how happy she is when she has numbers like this and how immediately trusting she is of the data. So Jeremy and I will try to help discern and filter some of this potential.
I was trying to find the graphic that I found.
We'll get to it, sister.
I can't
Producer.
I know, it's bad. Okay, the top 3 are...
Hold on. Top 3 places people are coming here from or going to from here?
Coming here.
Okay.
They're renting U-Hauls
to move here from.
Essentially, the reason they get these numbers is like, this is where the license plates are coming from.
I just want to make sure we're talking about people that are coming here from these places.
Okay, number 3 first.
Louisiana.
Down around Louisiana tonight.
Okay, I can see that.
Florida.
I will say this.
That surprises me. That surprises me.
I know this because we coach so many agents in Florida, but the data, the headlines, to your point, are that's another place everyone's going to. No one's leaving. But we know that we have a bit of a Sunbelt trade-off here. Go ahead.
I'm going to guess from the north. Number 1 is from the north, like Michigan, Ohio, something like that.
It is north.
Okay.
Oklahoma.
North of us.
North of us. Okay.
So it's really interesting because the Louisiana,
I thought so.
I'll say this, the Louisiana and Oklahoma thing is constant. It's like that one state over job move kind of thing. So I don't want to give away everything, but when we get to the data of where people are leaving here from, those always rank high too. Florida, to your point, it was probably really surprising to a lot of people because you would think, no, they're coming from California and the Northwest, and they're coming to Arizona, Texas, and Florida. But there's also some shuffling between them. And I would just tell you, soft data, I can't tell you this with a bunch of technical numbers, but it's a friendly state. You're like, we're either going to live in Florida or Texas, or maybe Arizona. So if I'm leaving Florida, I'm only willing to go to, I'm not saying that's true of everybody, but that's a very common reality within the data. Like if I'm leaving Arizona, I'm going to Dallas. I'm leaving Dallas, I'm going to Fort Myers, that kind of thing. So it makes some sense to me, but yes, most people would not have guessed 2 of those things.
Could the proximity be anything to do with U-Haul being a self-drive truck as opposed to hiring professional movers? California's got private jets coming here, right?
I will say
this is a perfect example of using your brain when we navigate data.
Yep. Thank you so much for saying that, because that's where I was going to go with it. It's easy to hear the headlines, see the numbers, and go, this is fascinating. But if you only did, I won't name them because multiple major movers.
Who's going to drive a U-Haul from California?
A lot of people put out, well, that's why I said the proximity, the one state over thing. So, the data is always skewed, and we don't always know why. But when you see these big national movers, we always see more California, Washington State, upper Midwest, and the Northeast. So yes, some of it is because that's how you would move those ways. But go ahead. What else did we find in the data?
No, that was it.
That's where people are coming from.
Yeah, I didn't find the leaving too.
Oh, well, okay. We'll circle back on that next week. Okay. We'll pull that data for everybody because I sort of promised it at the beginning of the show.
Sorry.
I can tell you that it's always fascinating to me.
I can look it up.
The numbers. There's almost always more people coming in than going out. But again, from the pure U-Haul only data, some years it's more out than in. From the national move, it's never more out than in. Interesting stuff. So now either A, where people are coming from, or which people use U-Haul. So you're welcome, U-Haul, for all of the unpaid advertising that just happened right there. If you'd like to be more a part of our show, holler at us. Let me know. By the way, if you'd like more information on your home insurance and how to make sure you're not overspending, or how to make sure you don't get totally hosed if you actually have to file a claim, do what I do and a lot of other people around here do and call DP Lambert, 214-614-8595. Or I usually just email him, dp.lambert@goosehead.com. Y'all have heard me lately talking about my boy, who's now very close to being added to my insurance, which is not going to be fun. But also making sure that we have the right insurance on the house, on the office, on things like that. He's my first call no matter what. Or email dp.lambert@goosehead.com. Right here in DFW, you can take really good care of you. Goosehead Insurance does a good job, but no one does a better job than DP Lambert at Goosehead. dp.lambert@goosehead.com. What you got? You got something on your mind?
Oh, I was just going to say that the numbers of leaving would be hard because everybody's going. They were just releasing top states for arriving U-Haul customers.
Yeah, you would be looking at which of those places has Dallas on their inbound list as well. But
I see.
That data is out there. We'll scrape some of it together for you guys. Stay tuned next week, same time, same place. Okay, if you've got questions about your real estate, you know the drill. You should have this phone number saved in your phone, and you can call or text it anytime, 214-310-0008. Jeremy, if you right now, just at a quick whim, really quickly needed to check what somebody's house could sell for or rent for in under a minute. You weren't quite ready to go do a bunch of deep dive research. You just needed to know, under a minute, where do you think they should go?
I think they should go to our website, Todd.
ToddTremontiTeam.com. That's ToddTremontiTeam.com. You just click that little home valuation tab in probably 37 to 49 seconds.
Did I get that right?
You did.
I was hoping.
You did a great job being very vague, but you were pointing them in the right direction. ToddTremontiTeam.com. Click that home value tab. Put in a very tiny basic amount of information. It's going to pull a bunch of automated data. It's going to tell you what your home would sell for or maybe rent for. It's going to give you a confidence score. It also could get you could request a cash offer. You could track your home's equity month by month by month. Quick pop quiz, Jeremy. Is it responsible to own a home that's worth hundreds of thousands or maybe millions of dollars and have no idea what the value of that asset is?
The answer is C. I always put C on pop quizzes.
Yeah. A was yes, B was no, C is not wise. That's how we worded C in that scenario. Doesn't make you like an idiot. It's just you could do better. You would be wise to know the value of that asset. If you were to want or need to borrow against it, if you were to want or need to sell it, even if you have no plan, it is somewhere on or near the top of your list of assets for most people. It would be wise to know the value of it. It would be wise to know if a great opportunity came up or if a horrible tragedy occurred, I have an idea of what that asset is worth. And you could do that at ToddTremontiTeam.com just by clicking that home value tab. And if you were for some reason thinking, man, I wonder what somebody would pay me for it, you can get a cash offer request there. And then if you wanted a deep dive, we'll probably get you on the phone with Jeremy or maybe John. And then what happens?
Yeah. I mean, what I was going to say is while you're doing that, there's a little place to leave a note. Just say, hey, I'd like a actual personal valuation or a professional custom one as opposed to the automated online one.
Yep.
And I will be the person that gets that. John or I will reach out and say, hey, we'll do it for you. Quick and easy, no cost. We'll make sure you get accurate, real live info that helps you make decisions for your family.
That's right. And if you're a real estate agent in the area and you're thinking, man, I'd like to spend 2 days with a bunch of super sharp people and grow my business, head over to realgrowthsummit.com, realgrowthsummit.com. September 15th and 16th, we're pouring everything we've got, plus a bunch of great guest speakers and panels into real estate agents and team leaders that want to grow right here in Dallas. realgrowthsummit.com. We'll be right back after this. Talk a little bit about McKinney and some awesome backyard stuffs. Welcome back, party people. Thanks for hanging with us through the break. We were talking to Jeremy Payne, marketing specialist. Almost nobody in DFW sells more houses in 1 year strictly for sellers than Jeremy and John on our team. And if you're even remotely thinking about selling your house anytime soon, you need to start that conversation early and have freedom and flexibility to make choices and be patient and do some homework. But most people start it too late. So if you're even remotely thinking about selling your house in the next even year or two, reach out, have a quick conversation, maybe a quick Zoom call, potentially get some information about fixing things or being prepared or getting the most money or getting the most speed and all that stuff. But just give us a call, 214-310-0008 or
DutchRemindingTeam.com.
Now, there's a couple of things I want to make sure we cover before we wrap this thing up, Courtney. We promised we would talk a bit about McKinney. We're going to have a little fun here in a minute. And then, you've been, I think, excited this year because you've eaten significant amounts of things out of my backyard. So
yes,
we've talked about what is next, right? So we've been talking a lot about back to school and a lot about summer market, obviously, but we've also been talking a good bit about the fall market, even in the crazy heat of the summer, about how real estate is already in the fall market. But we'll talk a little bit about the lifestyle of the fall for just those of us that want to enjoy the homes we have or enjoy the homes that we're aspiring to go buy. So we're going to get into a bunch of that stuff. I do want to talk a little bit about what we're looking for here on our team. Some incredible people that we're looking to put the feelers out, and everybody listening and watching and reading what we're doing right now. We could use a favor. We could use you introducing us to some incredibly talented, competitive, kind, smart, servant-hearted people that value what we value, like what we like, work as hard as we work. And so we're going to do all those things as we make our way through the show. But the first segment is always, and that's kind of a joke, we always say it the exact same way, but Patrick Glaros has been working hand in hand with us for every single one of the 20 years we've been a team. He's that good. His team is that good. I trust them with everything mortgage related. I read a text on the air a couple of weeks ago where he sent me a couple of options and I replied, just commit me to whatever you would do. I trust you. That's the way I do it. You don't have to do it the way I do it, but if you trust me, that's the level that I trust him. PatrickGlaros.com, Glaros, PatrickGlaros.com, 972-386-1231. If you want to call him, 972-386-1231, or just do what I do, PatrickGlaros.com. Okay, lots to discuss. Do you want to talk fun backyard stuffs, or do you want to go?
Let's dig into your backyard.
Okay, not just
we
my
recently,
backyard, but all people who have or dream of having a little bigger backyard, more than the normal neighborhood lot. What we just call big backyards. Usually we say kind of half an acre up to 5-ish acres, but anything that you would consider a bigger backyard. What are you thinking?
Well, I was wondering how we are in the dog days, like the literal hottest time of the year. We've actually had an incredible summer, but that's not normally the case.
The heat arrived.
How does the heat affect all that you have going on in your backyard?
Yeah, I mean, to make this interesting and applicable to everyone else, even if you have a traditional backyard or an apartment patio or whatever, but obviously less things grow when it's brutally hot. Some things really thrive. Our zinnias, those flowers that I've been bringing into the office lately, are loving it. I have zinnia plants taller than me. I'm like almost 5'10". These things are like 6
Do they
foot.
not need a lot of water?
They need a decent bit of water. I have drip irrigation.
Sure.
They don't do as well when I just throw seeds out anywhere in the backyard. When I've mulched the garden beds and drip irrigate them at least twice a week, they do really, really well. But man, we have a bunch of different varieties of zinnias. My girls love them. And so every year we try to add another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 varieties. So we have 40 or 50. This year we probably had 20 or 30 that have bloomed and done well. Different kinds. You've seen, 5 or 6 of them. Not just different colors, but different thickness and different depth and different numbers of layers. There's the little tight, like 30 layer deep, and then there's the big, massive. Anyway, those are doing really well. They love the heat. The basil loves the heat.
It loves.
The peppers like the heat. Tomatoes, not so much. The tomatoes do really, really well in the early summer. They loved this summer where it wasn't as hot. But now that the heat is here, the plants do okay, but we are not putting any more new fruit, new tomato blooms on. That will get going again about Halloween when it starts to kind of cool off. And then it's a race. Can we get all of those tomatoes? Because they will explode. Can we get them ripe before the cool hits mid to late November-ish? Mm-hmm. We have great pears going in the orchard right now, but that's it. The figs are kind of done for the moment. The plums are totally finished. The apples are totally finished. Peaches didn't do well this year. Nectarines didn't do well this year.
Do you get a fall burst of any of this?
Berries get it. Some berries are fall bearing.
Okay.
Meaning they prefer the fall.
Sure.
They'll do okay early when they kind of think it's fall, and then they'll do great late. We get a huge fall burst of the tomatoes. We get peppers. A lot of the flowers around here treat our fall like summer. But as far as fruit and vegetables, I don't grow nearly as many vegetables as I used to because honestly, we're coming and going so much I can't take great care of them. But other people do really well in the fall. We coach an agent up in far north Dallas, and I was talking to her this week she was like, I'm done with this summer. I was like, just take a breather, let some stuff die, and get ready because the fall's my favorite garden around here anyway. But not just garden, though. This year the grass is thick and nice because we've had some intermittent heavy rains, and we've been dealing with 90s, not 109s. Mm-hmm. But right now, if you're willing to grin and bear it with the water bill and just get us to late September, October, then you get to enjoy that beautiful, lush grass and some of the shade of the trees all the way through probably December. So we are enjoying just looking out and seeing it thick green, the good grass, the pretty flowers, the shade of our trees that are a little healthier. They're not struggling like they have been the last couple of summers. Our pond still has some water in it, which in August, most of the last 4 or 5 years, that thing's been bone dry. The kids could ride their bicycles down it and back up the other side. We're holding feet of water. It's not full, but the kids have been playing out there. Way more pickleball, way more wiffle ball, lots of volleyball the last couple of years. My girls are into volleyball. It's a really fun time out there. But I can tell you right now, I am most looking forward to, I'll go out for 30 minutes to just sweat and get it done so that Halloween to Christmas, we can absolutely, I'll go out there and just never come back inside. Just absolutely love it. So we're in the pool a bunch. If you got a pool, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But that's what's happening in the backyard. But that's also what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. It's funny how August sort of kicks off what's next.
Mm-hmm.
Like Coco, even my daughter, woke up this morning. It's the first day of school. And woke up and was like, Halloween's next. And I'm like, good night. Can you just enjoy today?
Yep.
So we're all looking forward to the fall.
Yeah, so sometimes it's like the fall sports or the fall real estate market, and then it's like, but actual fall feeling is still a bit away. So we're preparing for that because to me, that's when our family is outside the most. We're at kids' sports, but we're also in the backyard. And I cannot wait. But as far as real estate goes, all those things matter. If you're thinking about putting your house,
people want to be out.
Well, and if you're thinking about selling in the fall, I think the fall is one of the very best times to sell.
Beautiful.
Like the plants and the flowers look great. Your house can still look great. The drive up can still look great. People don't mind driving around, getting in and out of the car, going in and out of houses. Plus, if you still want or need to sell after the spring and summer, it's a more efficient market. Serious buyers, serious sellers, people willing to actually get a deal done instead of just playing at it or kicking the tires. It is a great time. So if you're thinking about buying or selling and you still want to get that done before the holidays or before the end of the year, we need to have that conversation now. 214-310-0008. 214-310-0008 or go online to
ToddTremontiTeam.com.
That's ToddTremontiTeam.com or just Google my name, spell it as best as you can. We will get you taken care of. Now, Courtney.
Tell me everything.
We love McKinney, Texas. We talk about it all the time. Incredible place to live. But real specifically, what is your favorite place to go and eat in McKinney, Texas?
Yeah, it's fun I think when you're talking about an area that you're looking at to live, it's like also how can you enjoy it? I am very much a live where I play, not live where I work kind of girly.
Wait. Live where you play, not you'd rather commute to work, but be in the fun and social. Got it. Yes. I think that's true of a lot of people, yeah.
And so I thought, most important, let's kick off, the king of barbecue there.
Ooh.
Which is Hutchins.
Amen.
I mean, tops all the lists.
That's not my number one favorite place to eat in McKinney, but it is real close.
Sure. And oftentimes it's like, what am I in the mood for? So you can have your favorite
is
place.
The answer to that.
Exactly.
I'm in the mood for banana pudding.
So I think
what do you order there?
Just the spread I mean, I want brisket.
Fattiest brisket they'll give me.
Absolutely. Sausage.
When someone in front of me is like, I want the trimmed lean brisket, I was like, I'll take their fat, my fat, and the next guy's fat.
I don't get people who
Give
trim it
to
off.
me the smoky, glorious, brain-fueling, fatty brisket glory. But what I love there is, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure, the banana pudding is just on like out with the pickles and stuff. Like it just comes with it. So you could get diabetes right there in the line if you want. You could just shovel that. That was not meant to be a dig, by the way, but it's like you could just have all the sugar you want. And I try not to do that. But there it's a beautiful struggle of like, I want to eat so much quantity because everything in the building is incredible. You're welcome, Hutchins, but also thank you for being great at
They also have a booth at Globe Life Field, and that line is long.
Yeah, they have a spot there for a reason. Okay, now, by the way, I do think the McKinney location is the best one. I've been to the others. They're also great, but McKinney's the
It's
one.
on the top list. It may not be your favorite barbecue, but it's dang good.
It is probably my second or third favorite barbecue in all of DFW. Today's not the day to talk about my other barbecue ranks.
Sure, this isn't a barbecue episode.
Okay, I'm now going to say my absolute favorite place in McKinney, but while I'm doing that, if you want to think of another of your McKinney favorites, you can do that.
Okay.
But I'm going to distract you just while I said that. Can you imagine, full price Courtney? Important to say that there is a steakhouse in DFW with over 2,000 reviews and still a 4.7 rating. In Dallas, Texas, where a lot of people want to complain and whine, and most people that leave reviews just go there to leave bad reviews.
Okay, it's legit.
Can you imagine over 2,000 reviews and you still have a 4.7 rating? A steakhouse in DFW.
Yeah, people are rude about steak.
In McKinney.
All right, go ahead.
Rick's Chop House. Have you ever been?
I have not,
It's so great.
but
It's in one of the old
Grand Hotel.
It's in one of the older buildings in downtown McKinney, which is a whole nother thing. We've got other videos and podcasts about that. But right in downtown McKinney, it feels like a steakhouse should feel, in my opinion. Older, dark lighting, but not so dark I can't see the stinking menu. A little bit of live music every once in a while, like a jazz trio or something on a Friday or Saturday.
Gotta go on a date.
It's, as the kids say, Courtney, it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. I've never said that out loud before. It's incredible. It's so much fun. I really like to go down there for like an anniversary night out, stay at the hotel that's in the same building, and then walk over to like Landon Winery. But it's not about that. Talking about
fun.
best places to eat in McKinney. You go Hutchins, I go Rick's. Ian has decided to grace us with his presence.
I mean,
So Ian, really quickly, let me hit the mic here. Do you have a favorite place to eat in McKinney that is not Hutchins Barbecue or Rick's Chop House?
Mackie D's.
Mackie D's. McDonald's?
You're fired.
Top of my head.
You're fired. You don't work here anymore.
Okay, see ya.
What just happened? Now, look, I'm not saying I don't respect the regular cheeseburger at McDonald's or 20 nuggets on a road trip. But more than anything, if I'm going McDonald's, and I don't know why we're even talking about this, I want the sausage McMuffin with egg in the morning only, on a road trip only.
Only.
If our family's like leaving town, we're going to be in the car for 4 or more hours. I'm like, I need
Fine.
a sausage McMuffin with egg.
Yes.
Can I be honest with you?
You don't need
I hope
McKinney.
you always are, but go ahead.
I've never actually eaten a meal in McKinney.
That's not true.
I'm just shocked.
First
with
of all,
how you love food.
Thank you for your contribution to this segment. Second of all, there's no way.
Oh, you know what? I lied.
Yep, we knew
I
you
have
did.
had one meal in McKinney. It was at the small little comedy club downtown McKinney. We went to a few months ago.
And where'd you eat? You
At
ate
the
at
comedy
the
club.
club.
Yeah.
What's the name of that?
Don't name it, because I'm about to ask you, was it a good meal?
Yeah, it's fine.
It was a good meal for a comedy club.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that. Do you have any other favorites?
Say I love local yokel.
Okay, keep
I
going.
think like it's a little bit it's not on the square, but I think knowing good places to go with like a group, the food is great, the drinks are great. It's just an elevated farm to table, like barbecue vibe, but not like, I'm not saying, I don't think of it as a barbecue place.
Okay.
But they certainly have that.
I have had a coffee in McKinney. I think it was Collective Coffee, maybe. One of the ones in downtown McKinney.
Okay.
I've only, truthfully, I've only ever been to McKinney a couple times.
This is so bizarre. How is that possible?
You
I don't
need
know,
to
it's just
take
not-
your wife out.
Take lots of places.
I know. Y'all need to fix
They
it.
don't venture out. I will say Landon Winery right there on the corner by Rick's is also one of our favorite spots in downtown McKinney, but it's not really
What
food.
is that place? Like
winery.
noshes and wine. And
Yes, ma'am.
so help me.
They'll let you bring food in. So it's really cool. You can walk around the square, grab dinner, walk it over, or have someone deliver it right there, drink some wine.
Like, do they have like a good vibe?
Yeah.
Patio?
No, it's a solid patio, like a good size patio that faces the courthouse in the square. And then inside, it's really neat. Their vines are like out in Greenville, so it's not that far. This is like a true local winery.
Wow, this is
vineyard.
fun.
Yeah, they have a great wine club. We're a member. Also, you're welcome, Landon Winery, for the free advertising. If you'd like to keep that going, let us know.
Really-
Holler at us. Okay. McKinney's an awesome place to eat, have a drink, enjoy socially. We like downtown, but Hutchins is not downtown. There's some other great spots as well. You should check out McKinney, especially if you're not from the area and you're thinking about making the move. It's one of those mature, but still has a really fresh new vibe, but also has some cool old vibes.
Yes.
It's a very cool,
good
mature,
way to
full
put it.
cycle, great golf, lots of awesome stuff happening.
Did y'all talk about the huge water park thing that's out there?
We didn't. There's a massive, incredible new development coming there, but we were talking about just the best food in
places to
McKinney.
eat.
Got it.
It's
Okay.
okay. I'm sure there's going to be great restaurants there. We'll get people updated once that's a real full.
Well, it's
thing.
right by the PSA. There's like a big water thing right there. It was always fun. We do it
Very,
now.
very cool. Okay. I know, Ian, you were not able to be with us for the bulk of this show, but
That's
you
true.
brought something very unique to the show. So before you do that, very quickly, let's just cover some important business.
Hi, Ian.
Go ahead.
Hey, Mum. A couple things actually for you, Todd. One, did you see Middlesbrough won their first game last weekend?
And now this.
Football's back.
Up the borough.
Up the road. It's going to be a good season. I'm excited.
You know, I didn't see it, but I'm so glad that you updated me because from here through I know it's not really a traditional season, but through this time of year where that is being played in 8 countries and 5 different leagues and tournaments and mid-league tournaments and all that stuff. I can't wait. We're going to go on a run this year, the Borough.
I think we are. It's going to be a good one. All right. Now, we also have, do you remember the segment we used to do with Cockney rhyming slang?
Boy, do I.
It was a big hit.
I mean,
the,
we had handfuls of responses.
Oh, we had more than that, Todd, just more than you even know about. Well, I have a new one for you, folks. How about 52 Yorkshire sentences that will confuse the beep out of everybody else?
We're going to cover these 52 over the next
52 weeks.
12 years.
Oh my gosh.
Let's get one of them.
All right, I'll give you one of them right here. How about, I'm going to do it in my best Yorkshire accent.
Oh, boy.
And this list has been like excellent. Like it's reminded me of words that I used to use as a kid and I've totally
Who's
forgot.
answering, Courtney or anyone?
Both of you.
Okay. So I'm not playing Courtney's intro.
Ready? Here we go. Gears are chuddy.
Gears a chuddy?
Yeah, gears are chuddy.
Yeah, my car is not working.
Not even close.
What about my bike?
Not even
Do you have
close.
me muted?
Gears
Gears are chuddy.
a chuddy.
Gears a chuddy.
Gears a chuddy.
Give me
Give me
a drink.
I mean, you're kind of close. Well, you're close on that to give me. Please may I have some chewing gum?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I could see it.
Yep.
There you
It's
At least we can see it.
Yeah.
it's still
Oh,
completely
my language here is going to make way more
it's
sense than the other
still
language.
completely and utterly insane.
Yeah, chuddy.
But I could give us chuddy, chewy.
Yeah, I'm here.
It's like parky speak, but you know.
I'm going to give you one bonus. One more bonus. real quick.
Or we could not.
One,
But go ahead.
One quick one. Get over. You're too cack-handed.
Oh my gosh.
Come over here.
Give me your keys, you're drunk.
Nope.
Oh!
Come over here.
Nah, it basically means like you're too clumsy to be trusted with something.
Oh my God.
So I was on the right thread, but entirely off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you were right there, but like way away.
I was right there, but a miles away.
Yeah.
Listen,
Back next week with that one.
Mm.
Hey.
potentially, but also hopefully not. Hey, folks, if you're thinking about buying or selling a house before the end of 2025, we need to talk this week. Not because you need to hire us or spend any money or sign any documents. You don't have to do any of that if you're not ready. But you need to start that conversation so that you can sleep well at night, have a plan, know what an appropriate timetable is, know how to save money, save time, save drama, save stress. Most people start those conversations way too late, whether it's tied to a promotion, children graduating, moving, growing family, less people at home, bringing family, an elderly parent or whatever the thing is that's driving your change. As soon as you know that change is coming, or there's a desire to upsize, downsize, make a move, be over there, be over here, give us a call and we will just have a casual but professional conversation where we can lead and guide and advocate for you and resource you, whether you hire us or not. We are happy to add value for you. Obviously, our hope is that if you're a fit for us and we're a fit for you, that we would build trust and that we would be able to serve you in an incredible way. But even if not, we would be thrilled to add value for you so that you are not having to make last minute, impulsive, limited information decisions that will really hinge your family's, financial home future. Give us a call, 214-310-0008. Call or text 214-310-0008. No obligation, no cost. We can jump on a call or Zoom, ideally in person at the office. Our team spans the Richardson area and the Fort Worth area and everything in between and around. We cover the whole Metroplex. One team, 2 towns. Glad to take care of you, add value, get you information, do some research, get you a report, get you a plan, get you a timetable, get you a budget, get you connected to some other great vendors and pros, lenders, inspectors, remodelers, movers, insurance agents, all those things. Just take a deep breath and start the conversation now. So you don't have to be panicking, convulsing, hyperventilating later because you didn't prepare early enough. You can't start the conversation too soon. Most people start it too late. If you are at all thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate in the next year or so, give us a call, 214-310-0008 or online at toddtremonti.com. Now, Ian, if you wanted to know what your house is worth, what would you do?
I would head over to toddtremonti.com and I would click on that little home valuation tab. And in less than a minute, closer to like 30 seconds, maybe 35 seconds, you can be able to see what your home is worth. You can answer just a few quick questions. It's going to give you your equity. It's going to give you your value. It's going to give you what you can rent for, cash offers, a plethora of information right there. toddtremonti.com. Click that home valuation tab.
Yeah. And if you own a home or if you are about to buy or just bought and you do not have a home warranty, I really want you to go check out trinityhomeadvisors.com. It's a different approach to the traditional home warranty. It's a company built around the home warranty concept. They do give and provide and sell home warranties, but they do it differently. They have a different financial model that backs up their clients to be able to take care of them better. They have a great information and communication process to help you maintain your property so that when you need the warranty, that those warranty claims are going to get taken care of, and to help you avoid costly repairs and damage and things like that. Head over to trinityhomeadvisors.com for a different way of having a home warranty. trinityhomeadvisors.com. And if you are buying, selling, remodeling, refinancing, or anything, and your property is going to change title, change ownership in any way, check out Republic Title, republictitle.com. Hey, folks, we'll be back same time, same place next week. But in between, check out the podcast, check out the YouTube. Just search Todd Tremonti. We'll see you next week.